Welcome to the Weeb Lounge. This is our review of Assassin Class character Osakabehime for Fate Grand Order. Hey everyone, once again, I'm Nick, and Osakabehime, Oki is her nickname, I'll refer to as Oki, is a rather odd character. She is an assassin class, but yet she is a support character. You don't see that very often for assassin class characters at all. So her stuff is pretty well detailed. Let's just go straight to her first skill. First skill, 30% defense up for herself 1 turn, extra defense up for herself for 3 turns, debuff resistance up for 3 turns, and once you upgrade the skill, the entire party gets critical strike up for 3 turns. That's a lot in one skill. That's why I wrote it down. Her second one is to charge an ally's NP a little bit and give them some star generation rate up. Typical kind of little smidge up. It's useful. Third skill is the enemy defense down and removes their buffs. Okay, pretty utilitarian. I like it. Noble Phantasm. And this one, it can be useful, especially in certain situations. Noble Phantasm, party max hit points and defense up for 3 turns. And depending on her Noble Phantasm level, I believe 5 goes to an increase of 4,000 hit points, max HP up, which also means she heals for the 4,000. So that's pretty nice. The overcharge is the party gets a quick up for 3 turns. And her Noble Phantasm can also be upgraded, which makes the overcharge do Buster up for 3 turns as well. That's a lot of stuff. Oh. Let's just see her in action, see exactly what kind of buffs and crazy stuff she can do.
Now, Oki isn't going to be doing any major damage. She's going to be doing a lot of support and buffs. So, first thing we're going to do, got a little bit of crit generated from Jack earlier. We're going to see how much arts she can charge on her own. Arts card, 2 quicks. Right now she's at 114, and because of math, I got my calculator open. I'm bad. A whole 83. That's not bad for the crit in there. So yeah, I mean, that with her ability, other stuff, she can generate that just fine. She's fine. Now, her Noble Phantasm, a lot of buffs and stuff, not much fluff, no numbers to see, so let's just play it for you. You know what? Start with an arts card, because we can throw Jack in there. And if Jack happens to crit on that third one, well, probably get her Noble Phantasm. Likes to dance on the roof. But his hit points went up pretty good, and Jack got her Noble Phantasm just like I thought. Okay, so you got the quick up buff from Osakabehime. Let's just buff Jack up all to hell, see what she can do, right? Oh, let's see. I'm going to put everything that I have on her, right? A little overkill probably for this little dragon wavering guy. Yeah. Let's see. Get her own little quick up. Just see what she can do. Is it going to make that big of a difference having Osakabehime's buff on? Now, normally that, with a couple of the other buffs, would probably hit about, really hard to estimate, about 260, 270. So yeah, It's a pretty good little boost to her abilities. Definitely not something to scoff at. But yeah, definitely helps overall. Lasts for 3 turns, the quick and the buster cards up. So yeah, that was useful. I'm not going to say that it was completely meh, but for not planning anything out really and just kind of slapping it together, not overcharging. If you overcharge Osakabehime's NP, that damage boost is going to be that much more. But considering the amount of damage that the others did, not much planning or anything, yeah, I'm fairly happy with that.
Okay, as you saw, you know, she can put out a bunch of buffs. She can be really utilitarian, helpful in certain ways in order to make other characters perform better. But the fact that she's an assassin class actually kind of makes it really situational. She's not going to be doing much damage. She's going to be helping others try to do damage, and it's almost like, you know, she doesn't necessarily have a spot to kind of fill in, right? If you're going against a bunch of riders and they're tough opponents, you can throw her in for that extra oomph. And that's kind of it. She doesn't really help out much in other ways. I mean, I suppose she could, but then you put her at risk, or you make her even less useful in terms of doing any kind of damage. Generating her arts, generally not a problem. You know, average to above average, I suppose. Dealing damage herself, you don't bring her into a party to do damage. You bring her in to support and buff other people, period. And, you know, as useful as it seems, you know, all this stuff right here that I had wrote down, and my handwriting's horrible, you probably couldn't make out a lick of that. As useful as it seems she could be, we find ourselves never using her. The only time we'll ever throw her in the party is if there's some kind of bonus associated with an event. Otherwise, we just never use her. Maybe we should, but we just find that utility in other characters that, you know, are more useful overall and in more situations. So, what would our rating of her be? Well, I almost don't want to say this because in terms of utility, she's good, but I have to give her a hard pass. You don't need her. There's other characters can do just the same. The extra little oomph that she gives, there's plenty of other characters that can do better or more. You know, you got Merlin, you got Waver. I mean, El Malloy, she's not a character that you necessarily need. Now, a lot of times I say there's a caveat, right? You know, if you don't have this, or this, okay, go for this. There's no caveat with her. There's none. Save your quartz. Hard pass on this character. Do not bother. We got her into MP5 purely by mistake. When she first came out, we got one copy of her. All the other copies that we got were because we were trying to get something else. And she just kept magically showing up. Earlier today, I spent one ticket that I had left over on the banner to try to get another Cleopatra. Yeah, right, like that's going to happen. And Oki showed up. That gave us MP5. So, yeah, hard pass, save your quartz, use it for another gacha, wait for another banner. And that's the end of that. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. We'd really appreciate it if you come and pay a visit to us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/The Weeb Lounge. We'd like to talk anime with you. We're playing some Atelier Ryza. Well, actually, we just finished that one up. We're going to be moving on to the next one. Atelier Lackey, some. We'll figure it out. We got a whole bunch of them. There's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of Atelier games. But anyways, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by.